As we spend more time on the road and we are doing more remote work and we're doing more with our YouTube channel and our social media channels, people often ask us, what are we doing to stay connected on the road and what works best? That's a tough one. You know, it's almost become as difficult as which rig should I get? Is a Class B van right for me, or should I get a Class A or a travel trailer? That totally depends on you, your travel style, and what you're trying to accomplish. The same goes for connecting to the internet. We love being able to take advantage of our remote work situation because it allows us then to take advantage of downtime once we arrive somewhere. On a recent trip to the Porcupine Mountains in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, we took advantage of that slower travel style to be able to visit friends along the way or stick around an area a little bit longer if we really enjoyed it. We mooch-docked with a friend at their family cabin in Lance, Michigan. We ended up spending time just after we crossed the Mackinac Bridge at Straits State Park. We had planned on staying one night on our way to the further reaches of the UP, and instead we found a couple of great spots that we could be in. It was beautiful, the weather was nice. We stayed another 2 nights, so 3 nights total. And that was possible because of the cell signal that was available there and the fact that we could boost our signals along the way no matter where we were at, assuming we had one to start with. This is going to be an oversimplified presentation, but I didn't want to take too long and turn it into some sort of dissertation. We have several different ways to connect to the internet. We have our cell phones, we have a Jetpack, we have a cellular booster, we have a MIMO antenna, and we have a Wi-Fi antenna. We use every one of these as we have traveled around the state and across to different states, depending on the situation we're in. What are we trying to accomplish? How much signal boost do we need? How much speed do we need? What do we have in terms of power? Are we running on batteries or are we plugged in a campground? Do we have a decent cell signal to start with, or is it terrible, but there is somewhat of a Wi-Fi signal available? Can we tap into one of those and make them stronger or make them faster? That's how we determine what we're going to use. We have a WeBoost cellular booster. We have the large OTR, it's the over-the-road edition. It has a big antenna, it has a box that then brings that signal in and transmits it to an internal antenna, and then that broadcasts to the cell phones that we're trying to connect it to or to our Jetpack that we have through Verizon. And what that does is it finds any signal and expands it and makes it stronger. The other thing that we use is the Jetpack, as I mentioned. And what that does is it grabs the cellular signal and then rebroadcasts it in the area around it as a Wi-Fi signal. So you can connect your phone to it via Wi-Fi, or you can connect your laptop directly to it. What we have recently added to our technology arsenal is a MIMO antenna. And that's just a simple flat antenna that you can stick in a window with suction cups. The cord runs down to your Jetpack, you plug it in, it requires no power. It's essentially using more channels in terms of sending and receiving data. And for folks who are looking for a simple solution, it is easier to set up and use than the cell booster, and it is a lot cheaper. The WeBoost that we have, I believe, is running close to $500 now. It was an investment that we felt we needed to make for what our needs are. But the MIMO antenna you can get for, I don't know, $30 to $40, I believe, on Amazon right now. So that is a much simpler commitment to try to figure out if that's going to work for you. The other thing that we have is a Wi-Fi booster. So when we're at a campground or we're parked outside of a store where we've made a purchase and we have decided that we want to sit in the rig and do the work, what that does is it takes an existing Wi-Fi signal and amplifies it and then rebroadcasts it in the area that you're in so that your cell phone or your laptop can have a stronger Wi-Fi signal. The investment cost for all of these is very different. The way they are set up is very different. Is this something that's going to be permanently mounted, or is this something you're only going to put into place when you need it? And the technology or the ability to use technology changes slightly depending on what you're trying to do. Probably the most complicated is the Wi-Fi antenna setup. It's not difficult really overall, it's just a little more time consuming, and once you use it and get it set up, it's not that bad. But it means having to string some wires and set up an antenna because that's not something I'm going to leave set up all the time. The cell booster is installed. We have it set up all the time. There are some people who will put it on a pole and temporarily mount it because they want to have it higher. There are times when I wish our cell booster was higher, But by having it mounted to the bull bar on the front of the van, that means that we're able to use it while driving down the road. And there have been some times when traveling that Jesse's trying to get some work done while we're driving around, and that means being able to kick on the cell booster while driving, and that has allowed her to stay connected at a time when otherwise the signal would be coming and going too much. So we like having that installed all of the time. The MIMO antenna is something that you simply attach and use as needed. You could use it while driving, just stick it to a window. Those suction cups are really strong. Or we'll use it when parked and hang it in a window and call it good and just leave there the entire time that we're parked. It really depends on a lot of different factors, and I wish I could tell you what is best. I can tell you what we have. I can tell you what works for us in different situations. I can tell you about the investment that was made. We always try to encourage people on this channel to get out there and try new things. Hike, camp, boldly go. Well, maybe staying connected to the internet has been one of the stumbling blocks. And I hope this video has been at least a little bit helpful to give you an idea of what your options are. Please feel free to leave comments and questions below. I really want to help people figure this out because we've been at it for a few years now and we've added to our equipment and we figured out what works for us and what works at different times and in different ways. So we're happy to share our knowledge and our experience and help you get out on the road. Keep on trekking, and we'll see you out there.